And we're on for another week. Thank you for joining us. Your connection to Montreal's Jewish community. This is In Montreal, a great 30 minutes coming up, not just because Eric Cohn is making an appearance. We have a wide, diverse show for you. That's right. Eric Cohn is back after a couple of weeks, and he's doing his famous movie reviews. Adam Sandler back on the big screen. This time, a little more serious side for Adam Sandler. So we'll be talking about that coming up in a couple of minutes with his new movie called Rain on Me. Also, Kids Helping Kids. With Kids on the Block, a young group of students who use puppets to help kids desensitize themselves towards people with disabilities. A really, really great idea and an interesting group coming up. They're bringing their puppets too. And when we come back, Lieutenant Gabriel Granatstein will join us. He's a 25-year-old guy who just came back from Bosnia, 6.5 months there. We'll talk a bit about his experience and more when In Montreal returns right after these. Welcome back to In Montreal, and thank you for joining us at a time where the military is sort of front and center with the 90th anniversary of Vimy Ridge commemorated last week, and the sad news, 6 soldiers losing their lives in Afghanistan as well. My next guest spent 6.5 months in Bosnia. He is 25-year-old Lieutenant Gabriel Granatstein joining us on In Montreal. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Happy to be home?
Yeah, I'm very happy, and thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome. Off the top, your thoughts on last week's tragic events in Afghanistan?
It's terrible and it's sad, and I have a lot of friends who are serving there now, so whenever that news comes out, it hits home. All I can say is that my thoughts and my prayers are with their families, and this is a really hard time for them.
You spent 6.5 months in Bosnia. How long have you been enlisted?
I've been in the reserves for about 4 years.
Okay. Right off the bat, tell me why. You don't see many, well, I guess you do, but I haven't met many people our age in the Army.
I guess, to be honest, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to, maybe it sounds corny, but I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve my country. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to do something, I guess, greater than myself. Before I joined the Army, I had worked at the Gap, I had worked at Harry Rose, and I'd done, the retail circuit, and I just wanted something different, something challenging, and this was it.
Is this something that you'd like to stick with, or like you said, you're in law school, so?
Yeah. I don't really know. I've had an incredible time in the Army, and I've been incredibly lucky with the jobs that I've had. The beauty about the reserves is that I serve when I want and where I want. So right now I go back to law school, and I'll see what happens.
Are you a different person 6.5 months later?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
What did people tell you?
The same, I guess the same person.
Yeah.
I only got back 2 weeks ago, so it's still, I'm still settling in. But I don't think the experience changed me as much as it enriched me.
Tell me a bit about Bosnia and the situation there right now, and what you were specifically doing there for the last 6.5 months.
Well, Bosnia is a country with a very difficult history. It was divided by a major civil war that caused lots of death and destruction. And in Bosnia, it can get complicated, but basically there's 3 different religious groups, and they all fought each other during the war. And Canadians have been in Bosnia as peacekeepers since 1992 or 93. And now the war is over, the situation is relatively stable, and we're there as monitors. So my job specifically was as a liaison and observation officer, and through patrols and meetings throughout the countryside and all the towns, I met with local representatives, I worked with the police, the military, and just about anybody I wanted to talk to get a feel for the ground and be able to tell the international community what was going on.
Okay, tell me about one specific meeting that you had with a leader there where you found out that there was an old Jewish cemetery in Bosnia.
Well, it was in September, in the first month that I got there, and to be honest, I wasn't broadcasting the fact that I was Jewish there. The area that I was in was 99% Muslim, and I had been advised that it was a good idea to keep that under wraps. And I met this community leader, and he said to me, by the way, there's this Jewish cemetery in my area, and I've been trying to get it restored for the last 4 years, and nobody's been able to help me. And I said, oh, well, that's interesting. I think I'd like to help you. I didn't tell him that I was Jewish, but I said I'd like to help you. And that's how it started. And through my rabbi at home and through my family, I managed to contact the leader of the Jewish community in Bosnia, and he helped me get some more contacts, and my grandparents helped me raise some money, and with this community leader and the mayor of the town, they embraced the project, and they contributed equal amounts of matching money to rebuild the cemetery. And I mean, it was amazing for me that...
It's unbelievable because, I mean, what a coincidence, right?
Yeah, it was, as the community leader kept saying, it was fate.
Yeah.
And to me, the most amazing thing was that this Muslim community, this poor Muslim community, had been trying to restore a Jewish cemetery for so long.
Unbelievable. We saw some amazing pictures there. I don't know if we want to show some more. This is the restoration of the cemetery.
Yeah, they're working on the cemetery. That was about a month ago, and they'd almost finished the front gate and the cement walls around it. They rebuilt it the way that it was in 1940 when it was destroyed by the SS.
Tell me about the people there. I see you with kids. Tell me about the kids there.
The people were amazing, and those kids in those pictures are part of another project that I worked on. Was that we got some schools in Montreal and Ottawa, LCC in Montreal and Temple Emmanuel also, and they sent tons of boxes of school supplies to the kids that we distributed there, and it was a great project, and the kids there were incredibly happy to get the supplies, and we exchanged letters back and forth between the children.
I think it's an awesome idea, and like you said, you came back enriched, and I'm thinking of somebody now our age watching the show who's thinking, well, you know, this might be something I'd like to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing experience. You don't realize it, I guess, until you're in it, but the Army becomes a family, and they take care of their people. And I had, in both of these projects, I had the full support of the team that I was working with, of my superiors there and in Ottawa, and everybody was really on board and incredibly supportive, which was great.
That's amazing. Gonna go back?
To Bosnia, I'd go back. Yeah. Anywhere else, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on In Montreal. Welcome home.
Thank you.
And more of In Montreal coming back in a couple of seconds as we talk about the kids on the block and Eric Cohen reviewing the latest Adam Sandler flick, Rain on Me, when In Montreal continues right after these. Don't go anywhere.